you're making major, often impactful, bridge-burning decisions in childhood which go on to have big ramifications from a very immature developing brain. So this young child growing up with all the experiences, I talk about those experiences as having gone into a rucksack on the back of the child, and they become tools, they become resources. And by the age of puberty, 11, 12, it's like the string of the rucksack now closes, and what has gone into that rucksack, all those experiences which you can't access often, you can't often find them or even remember them, but guess what? Your brain does know about them and remember them. I often talk about trying to find them in the filing cabinet of the brain. Is it under, it's under K, isn't it, that negative thing that happened in 2000 and, well, that's ridiculous. Unless I ask you the right question, you can't easily find what it was that has created the reason why you are self-soothing. But your brain is carrying that knowledge, that information. And so let's go back to what I was saying. The rucksack now draws closed, and at puberty everything crystallizes to become the tools, the experiences which you are going to now use repeatedly through adulthood. I hope that makes some sort of sense. The child has been shaped. I want to explain using this Russian doll what then has happened to the child, particularly the negative impact things. And I know that a lot of you listening to this may be thinking, I don't know of any traumatic, difficult event. My childhood was really great, really good, etc. I know, I agree, to an extent. The problem is, you have a unique brain, a unique personality, and you needed life done in a particular way. And so when I talk about childhood development and things going wrong, it's never a criticism of your parents. Parents tend to seek to do the very best that they can be. However, the very fact of living life can create stresses and anxieties that were not intended. Your brain, when it experiences upset, distress, even for example, an argument between parents that can create some upset for the child listening, and you learn to go off to your room to remove yourself from that distressing, upsetting situation. And as you go into your room, let's say to play with your Lego, that's a way of escape. It's a way of self-soothing. You may go in to play your game consoles, enter into the world of computer games, and you repeatedly do that. Can you see the hallmark traits of aloneness and repetition? And all of these things are setting up the groundwork for other, more intense behaviours when you come across porn, nudity, and it gives a sense of, all of these things have set up the groundwork for the repetitive viewing of images. But let me come back to what I was saying about the Russian doll. Remember the little newborn baby? When pain, anxiety, tension, upset, doesn't have to be trauma. Could be trauma. Could be really difficult experiences. The brain's job is to protect the child from pain, to protect the developing young infant, to protect the adults from pain. But over time, we build layers of protection, masks, to ensure people don't infiltrate and get to the inner child. So inside here is that little child with layers of protection. And I often say, stand up the real you. And I wonder which one the real you really is. Is it that one? The external that will show to the world when we first enter a new place, people don't know us. We tend to have this outer layer. They don't see this layer because it's not safe to give all of us immediately to people until we get to know them. And so over time, we'll let people see this more intimate person. And as we get to know, maybe in the workplace where we become comfortable with people, they will start to see someone that is closer to the real, authentic us, the inner child. But it may be that over the years, and I could go on removing layers. And by the way, this work with me is not about me trying to strip back the layers and find you. That's really scary. I'm not going to try and do that. I'm going to equip you with the tools to gently do it for yourself, to find the real you. But inside here is the authentic inner child that experiences some pain back in childhood and has created these layers. All of us do it to protect us from pain. Maybe a part of this work is about finding the real you. You may like the real you. Have you ever experienced something about you see a side of you just for a split second and you know, I could like that person? Those of you that can identify with that, you know that experience, don't you? And then that inner child darts back in really quickly and you don't see them again for quite some time. You know there is another you in there to be found. Let's go on a journey together to help you to find the real authentic you without the stuff that you've been using to self-soothe, to manage you, to protect you.